going to be a little replay analysis, kind of going over a recent game I played in the Mahan. Just kind of looking at what I did well, what I did bad. See if there's anything I can learn based on this game I played not that long ago. So we have one carrier, what is it? 5 BBs, 2 cruisers, and 4 DDs. So this should be a pretty interesting game. So like straight off the bat, I want to push into this area on the straight ahead of me. Hopefully I'll get support from the Gupard. Gupard. I think that's the name for it. And I should be able to win the 2v2 if it so happens that 2 enemy DDs come into that area. And they're Vanklin spotted. So we have a good idea that at least one of the enemy DDs are going to be around that area. But obviously at this point I'm starting to realize that the Gupard doesn't have the same idea I do. And I think he might prefer to actually hide behind that island a little bit. But I push on regardless. And then I ping him to try and get him to come help. Because effectively, once the DDs die in this map, the game's over. Like, it's going to be so easy to torp, just set up a position and either gunboat or just torp the enemy BBs to death.
Torpedoes to starboard.
And obviously, you need to switch off your AA guns when you're in a DD. Up until the point you're detected. Once you're detected, switch them on. It's not really going to make a difference either way. Now we spot the Gade, and we take shots on him. They're pretty looping shells on the Mahan. Not a big fan of those. Now we're spotted by the Bayern. So it's getting a little bit risky.
Problem solved, sir. Torpedoes dead ahead.
So I smoke up. As expected, there's the other DD.
The ship is on fire.
I'm gonna lose quite a lot of HP, but it's worth it to just to secure control of this area. Holy shit, I can't even speak. It looks like the Gupar went for the escape instead. As long as he's still spotted, we're in a really good position. And he's slowing here for some reason. He's smoking up, I think. Or what? What? What's he doing? But this is just basically free hits. If I could actually hit the shells, that's one of the main things. I think for a lot of players, I think a big struggle is learning how to aim when the enemy ship's actually a little bit tilted. Because I mean, like, if the ship's sailing full broadside, I can generally hit 90-95% of the shells. It's when the ship starts turning that there's so many calculations that it becomes a lot more difficult to actually accurately hit them. But that's fine. We actually have control of this area now, so we can pave the way for the Nagato to push in a little bit. Just got spotted again by the Vanklin. There's so many DD names that I just can't pronounce. Obviously, my detection range is 6.7 kilometers, so I'm just maneuvering. Whew. I'm just maneuvering just to get out of range. And as you can see in the minimap, their strong side is where I'm on. So I'm basically at the same time I'm trying to take out then 2 enemy DDs. I'm still just basically trying to hold on until the other flank pushes successfully and we have a crossfire. I think at this point too, I started noticing the Gneisenau and the Gade push off onto that left hand flank. So I just wanted to be careful and protect the Nagato. In case anything, in case they actually decided to push that flank, which I think they do. It's also useful to having a hipper. That just means like I can take on any kind of 1v1 with the Gata. See, it's basically game over for this guy. Like he can't push into that area.
Engine boost deactivated.
Wait, is that the Nagato pinging me? Why would he ping me when the Gneisenau and the Gata pushing the... Okay, never mind. But yeah, Gneisenau is pushing, albeit slowly. Obviously going to torp the smoke just in case. I'm not sure if the Gata has Hydra, but I'm being very cautious about pushing too close in case he does. The last thing I want is to be spotted 6 kilometers from a Bismarck or Gneisenau, and then he decides not to maneuver. He obviously didn't have Hydra, and he got destroyed. This gives us a massive advantage in this flank now.
Generator started.
I smoke up because I got spotted, and I'm pretty low HP.
Problem solved, sir.
So once we take out the Gneisenau, it's basically GG. Or, as is, like I basically have free reign over this flank of the map. It would be nice if the Hipper spotted, but it's not needed. He's probably going to die from torps anyways.
Set.
This is kind of a situation where like pushing forward didn't really make much sense at all.
We've destroyed an enemy battleship.
I have no idea what happened to the Nagato. I think he got torped maybe. But yeah, I think protecting our flank there was much more important than pushing forward. Maybe the Nagato went a little bit too ham. Maybe I should have looked out for him a little bit more, but I think overall it worked out pretty well.
All stations reporting the position of the strategic target.
The next goal is to take out the Vanquin. Vanquin? I keep changing how I pronounce it every time I say it. Vanquilum?
Concentrate fire on
It's
the enemy
detected.
warship.
They have the Scharnhorst, the Bayern, and the York, I think, on that flank. So once this guy dies, we're in a really strong position to start torping. Again, there's 9.2 kilometer range torps on this ship. And when you combine that with 6.7 detectability range, it's pretty potent when there's no DDs around. So yeah, I think I decided to let the Vanquin go to the right hand flank, and then I'm just going to move to the left and try and torp the Bayern and the York. Because I mean, why not? Like, it's free reign. There's no chance of getting detected or shot at. Why not make their lives hell? Plus my HP doesn't really allow me to duel another DD at this point. I mean, just being detected is pretty dangerous for me. So I think overall that's the right choice. Although I'm not 100% sure, I could definitely be wrong. So see the York pushing forward and then the Bayern moving further out to the flank. I decided to go for the Bayern first. Now at this point I think I'm too far away to actually torp him. I mean, like, if you look at the minimap, obviously he's detected by me. So I don't see... If he looks at the minimap, I don't think... If he looks at the minimap and thinks correctly, who else could he be detected by? And if he knows he's detected by a DD, he should be moving constantly, in and out, in and out, in and out. So these torps should probably never hit. But I pretty much just play the luck game, and it works out.
Enemy
Somehow.
battleship destroyed.
At this point he's on 870 HP, so I open up, thinking oh, maybe 1 or 2 volleys would kill him. But wasn't expecting the non-penetrations.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Our team has taken the lead. Engine boost activated.
And now at this point the game's basically over. All we have all we have to do is basically push in and end it. Obviously it's going to take ages to end it because my team's all stuck behind islands. Like, generally I tend not to use the torps all that much in this ship. I tend to enjoy just smoking up and gunboating. But I think after this, getting a bit of clear area and just playing havoc with BBs is really nice actually. And really effective in this ship. You have that 3 kilometer buffer between the 6.7 detectability range and the 9.2 torp range. It's really nice to play around. That's something you don't get with lower tiers. Usually you're spotted before you can even launch torps. And now, if you compare this maneuver to the Bayern did earlier, there's no comparison. See, this Scharnhorst knew he was detected by me. And you can see him maneuvering. Constantly maneuvering. Which is obviously the right play. I'm detected.
Smoke generator started.
I smoke up. I probably smoked a bit too late there. I could have get blapped if his guns returned. So I start shooting. I'm not detected to 5.4, I think. Or is it? No, it's 2.9 from shooting in smoke.
Engine boost deactivated.
At this point, I'm just waiting for my torps to come up again.
Smoke screen set.
There's no point shooting too early or using the torps too early. Again, I don't want to shoot when he's this close to give away. Or I shouldn't shoot.
Torpedoes to port.
Oh shit! I think I forgot the Scharnhorst did torps too. But yeah, you don't. Usually I don't like shooting when they're that close because even in smoke, even if you're undetected, the shells give away your position basically. I know at this point at what 2.3 kilometers, it's just way too easy to hit him. And yep. GG. GG.
Our team has taken the lead.
That was a pretty enjoyable game overall. It really points to the strength of actually taking out the enemy DDs and then just... it's so much fun. It's so much fun once you take them out. You have complete free reign over everything on the map. There's the Valkulin. but he's obviously too far away. I think at this point I just want to go for the cap. I just want the game to end. Because I got my Kraken, and that's all that matters. Alright, let's speed this up. This is taking way too long. So I go for the cap, obviously. At this point, there's no point having AA guns off.
Activated.
And it's only a carrier left, so... At this point, it's just waiting. And it's GG.